Aloha from Hawaii. This is our Thursday night class in Tibetan Buddhist Dharma practice and explanations. I'm Lama Tashi. We present this from our Komi Street Cave, Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center. And tonight's class is going to be about the life force energies of light and space in practice. Now, all of the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism have deity yogas, which we call rainbow body practice. And the rainbow body practice is accomplished in the Dharma centers and through the teachings in two ways. One, through the sutra, which is usually the center has printed texts and you read those. They're in Tibetan and English. So if you don't know the Tibetan, you can read the English. And they make offerings and do ritual practice. And they have special classes for teaching. And the teachings fall into to both categories. The sutra, which I just mentioned, is about with the text, reading the text of the particular deity and doing the practice. And the other nature of mind, which is called the natural mind, is approached differently. And that really is the purpose of this class. And how it is done is by using the imagination and symbols. And when you use these symbols, you're actually activating glandular program here in your brain. They use this third eye, which third eye means imagination, the inward looking eye. So when we use this imagination, we have to be able to focus. Well, in the sutra tradition, you have to be able to focus, read the text, and be in union with everybody else and the teacher who is using that same text. So there's you're developing focus by doing that. Also, you're using your voice and your ears and your eyes all at the same time. So it accomplishes. But it does it slower is the best word. It's a more gradual approach. The tantric approach is go direct to the nature of mind and use it as the basis of focus and whatever symbology you're using in your imagination. When we do these practices tonight, what we are presenting are called tantric 6 yoga, applications of the natural mind. And so there are 6 of these. So I'm going to give an explanation about those 6. The sutra is the deity yoga we call rainbow body. That's number 1, whether it be sutra or tantric approach. Number 2, to aid that, you bring the body into a state of what they call good health or warmth using kundalini, or we use fire mother, Tummo in Tibet, with the breath. And this is a more simplified approach, but it's also beyond most people because, again, you have to be able to use your focus and your imagination. Then the next 2 yogas are the sleep yoga of clear light, they call it clear light yoga, and the accessing the dream, or lucid dreaming. Now those 2 are for that aspect of your being, your stream of being. Then you have 2 more, which usually the end of life process. These kick in. They're called Powa, which means transferring the consciousness from the relative state to the ultimate state at the moment of leaving the body, or what is commonly called death. But since the consciousness doesn't die, regardless of all the religions and contrary beliefs, this is what takes place with Dharma practice. And it does it spontaneously. And they say it's like the daughter meeting the mother after a long separation. So what does that mean? It means your natural mind now collects all the energy of your consciousness as everything you ever thought or experienced through your sensual perception. All of that turns into what is the clear light nature of the mind, which is without any emotional reference, without the need for sensual reference, and without any kind of judgment, good, bad, high, low, or separate. Those are the five basic judgments. And so that's the most desirable. So these 6 yogas, the 2 of the waking state, the 2 of the sleep or dream state, and the 2 of the dying and leaving the body, going into the next life, are all the lineages have these. And the lineage masters don't give them out. Okay? They're taught usually individually, not like we're doing tonight on a collective basis. But all of the practice of the sutra and all of the practice of tantra leads to these 6. And so we have 2 lineages that we follow all the lineages, but we have 2 that we specialize. The Shankpa Kagyu, which was founded by Neguma in Sukha City and passed on to Tibet, is one of our lineages called the Shankpa Kagyu. And the other lineage is the Karmapa lineage we call the Karma Kagyu, which was started by Tilopa and Naropa Mahasiddhis in India and passed to Tibet. Now, these practices of these 6 yogas are similar with any of those. So if I say Tilopa, Naropa, or Nekuma, or Sukha City, those are Indian sadhus. But you got to understand, they passed it on to Tibetan teachers that took it back to many areas of Tibet. And this particular one we're doing tonight is Sukha City and Neguma. And those went with Kyumpo Naljor to behind Mount Everest to what is called the Shang Valley. And that's why it's called the Shankpa Kagyu. See, sometimes it's the location, is the lineage name, sometimes it's the name teacher or lineage holder, or sometimes it's just your natural mind, like we say the Dzogchen lineage, Tibetan Buddhism. Well, Dzogchen means the bliss nature of your natural mind. So every lineage has this. We have 5 lineages that survive Tibet. 4 of them, no break. And the 5th one, the Kadampa, they've actually started to reincarnate again, even though the Chinese killed all of their teachers and so forth. Now, the other practice we're going to do tonight is called Powa. Now, Powa, or consciousness transference at the moment of death, is an ongoing daily practice. That doesn't mean you're going to die today. Although that's a good thought, that this is the last day of your life. Not the old hippie of the 60s where we said it's the first day of the rest of your life. So since we don't know the moment of leaving, we use that as a consideration. We're mindful of that. We don't dwell on that. We're not morbid about it. We just understand that everything's impermanent, including our own body. But with this Powa, what you're doing is setting up the occasion of leaving the body now, in advance. And it's not a long drawn out practice. Once you accomplish the breathing technique and the symbols with the breath, then you only do that Powa practice 7 times. each day. It's not a long, drawn-out practice. You can do it any place, anytime. You can be in your car, you can be on the beach, you can be in your house, shrine room, whatever. Do it at night before you go to sleep. But this is to set you up for the occasion of actually the moment of leaving the body and moving into the next life. So I'm explaining these two a little bit in advance. I'll give more explanation when we do the practice. So now we'll start with the refuge prayer. And did you have that other sheet? When we start with the refuge, we start with the altruistic motivation, which is unique in Tibetan Buddhist practice compared to any other type of meditation practice or tradition on the planet today. And it's very simple. And we communicate this in the Sanskrit language to everyone, all the animals, all the humans, all the spirits. So we're going to do that first. And Abby and I are going to chant it together. Tadam Joa Namke Tadam Yampe Semchem Tamche Yugine Jumke Jisi Chengchu Nimpo Lachi Kibaru. Then in English, in order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and the sentient beings, our mothers, we now all together take refuge and offer prostration. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the yidams, or the deities gathered in our mandalas. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who conquered the mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All who possess the eye of transcending awareness. Then we say the Bodhicitta prayer. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. Now we'll chant the refuge prayer and the Bodhicitta prayer in Tibetan. Sanskrit. Palden mama dampa namla chapsu shio yedam chokor yaso namla chapsu shio Sanjay Jom Derde Namla Chapsu Shio Dampe Jur Namla Chapsu Shio Kalpe Gendun Namla Chapsu Shio Pao Kandro Chojong Sumbe So Yeshe Kishandam Dempa Namla Chapsu Shio Sanjay Chodam Choki Choknam La Jentu Pardu Dhammi Chapsu Shio Yadi Jinso Gite Sonam Pidrola Kancher Sanjay Yupasho. Now, incorporating these prayers at the beginning of your meditation session is to set the theme for that practice session and to explain a little more how the refuge works. By making the altruistic motivation that you and all sentient beings are doing this together, brings your mind into a Buddha field. And this Buddha field is the Buddha field of union, which is the antidote to how all of us think that we're separate. Separate from what? Separate what we're sensing. Separate what we see, smell, taste, touch, and feel. Separate from our thoughts, or even our thoughts that are separating in their function. And that's because of the emotional input or the emotional habit that we've ingrained into the human condition over time, up to the present day. All of it have this idea that everything's out here and we're here and we're separate. So this idea of altruistic motivation, that we're all doing this together and we're all doing it for everybody in the entire universe. All the humans, all the animals, all the spirits. Well, that's a Buddha field. Simply. That's this Buddha behind my head. Interconnected is the best word. Union applied. Unity. But interconnectedness. Everything is interconnected to everything else. Nothing arises on its own that appears. It cannot. It is structured into the energy of light and space of the universe, and that's our life support system. So in a word, what are Tibetan Buddhist practitioners? Are energy feeders. We feed on the energy of the universe through these practices, and we integrate them into our stream of being with our waking stage, our sleeping stage, and our aging and leaving the body or dying state. That's the whole theme of the Sutra and Tantra tradition that started in India with Shakyamuni Buddha 2,600 years ago and evolved over time to Tibet and now to the planet. When you take the support of the 6 refuges, all Buddhists have devotion to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Those are called the 3 jewels. But specifically in the Tibetan tradition and the Indian tradition, we have the 3 roots of light and energy. We call it Tantra. And these 3 roots are the Lama and the Lama's deities broken into 2 categories. The peaceful deities, of which there's 100, and the protector deity. Now these aspects are simply to retrain the mind to get it used to its natural state where emotional energy and judgment and all that conflicting thinking doesn't exist. And all of us have this nature, this type of consciousness. And when I say all of us, all the animals and humans and spirits have it, but only humans can connect to it. The highest realms of the gods and goddesses, they cannot, because they identify those energies as who they are. And that just boils down to an extremely inflated ego. And I recognize this when I was in the Hindu tradition and the Sufi tradition, and the American Indian tradition, and the Hawaiian tradition, and all of these. Because I love the practice, and so I thought it was a good idea to do all. But in the Tibetan tradition, those 6 refuges are your support. And you have to have a support. You have to have a spiritual support. So lamas, deities, and protectors. Why? Because you cannot on your own, no matter how intelligent, gain recognition of your true nature, your natural mind, and abandon your ego, the idea of yourself. However you want to think of it. With the soul, or with the body, or with the abilities, or whatever. You just can't do it. And people that do or think they can do that without support of somebody else that knows the natural mind are deluded. No matter how intelligent they are, they're deluded. And this is a very important point because now we're going to come to the refuge of the Bodhisattva prayer, which it breaks into two categories, the relative and the ultimate, as what they call bodhicitta, or bodhisattva mind, or pure mind. And it does it simply by showing what we should be doing anyway. Showing 6 ways what our mother taught. First of all, to be generous, kind, and considerate. That's number 1. Not just on this relative level, but also on the ultimate nature of your mind. So if you know and understand your ultimate nature, then you should pass that information on to others. That's ultimate generosity. That's what we're doing with these classes. Then the second one is morality combined with ethics and good manners. And this type of morality is also twofold. It's presented on the relative and the ultimate level. Ultimate morality means no judgment, ever, about good, bad, high, low, or things being separate, deluded. Number 3 is patience. Patience is absolutely necessary with your own egocentric awareness, the idea of the self. Because that's the problem. Uno, number 1, block. First of all, there is no self. Second of all, it's just an idea. And it's subject to interpretation by anybody and everybody. And patience is absolutely important. And also patience to take the time to retrain your mind. Just as it is. So that it can accept these 2 natures. Accept the relative one as an illusory program, and the ultimate one of light and energy as a healing program. Number 4 is you want to be doing this constantly. Once you start into this mind-changing direction, it's on a daily basis and nightly basis. Okay, so you start to work it in, drive a wedge into your time schedule, put the cell phone to one side for a few minutes, shut off the TV, computer, and take 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, all day, and eventually 24/7. But slowly. So that's called diligence or perseverance. Number 5, meditating focus using symbols. Okay? Activating the mind's imagination to coincide with being present, which is called focus. Single-pointed concentration. So that's number 5. All yoga, all meditation is about that. But again, ultimate and relative methods. Number 6 is intentionally connecting to the other nature of your mind as the remedy. It's called insight or wisdom. It's the word dharma, 2 words. The mother of wisdom. That's the other nature of mind. And when it comes to this in the human condition, it's good to have association, I'm saying this to the men now, with women who have this gift. That doesn't mean all women, but a great majority of the women on the planet today whether they be what is so-called civilized world, which is a mess, or the natural world where it's tribal, whichever way, the women have a responsibility. And that is to bring us onto this planet. And it's the only way. Us guys are going to get there and the rest of the women. But in the process of having that responsibility, they have to have certain gifts that are not easily acceptable to the men. It's the best way to put it. And one of them is intuition. And it took me a long time and many, many beautiful women relationships before I heard it over and over and over and over. I know something, you know. And how do you know? I just know. And I don't buy it. Okay. So that intuition is the natural mind. That will. When we practice using these 6 disciplines, when the Lama introduces the sutra deity, male or female, that is an addition or an extension of these 6 basic disciplines. So you must have these down so that the deity yoga works, accomplishes what it's supposed to do, which is to show you the illusory nature of everything you're sensing and everything you're thinking about. Illusory, the light nature. And this illusory nature is the deity. It's called the illusory body or rainbow body. We say rainbow because the rainbow is just light in the sky. As we move through these 2 aspects of consciousness, the deity, if you have the ability, we say the inclination and the ability to do this, that is called the path of skillful means. And it's not separate from the 6 basic disciplines of generosity, morality, patience, perseverance, meditative focus, and insight. It's with those 6 as the basic. And you move through this to a point where you start to accept that you're responsible for everything you say, think, and do. Your karma. And you are starting to think that you also want to be responsible for the benefit of others, alleviating their pain and suffering somehow, or helping to alleviate somehow the pain and suffering in others. Well, the best way is your mind. Physical activity, of course, is helpful, but in your mind, you can think that everybody is already perfect. Everybody is already healthy. In fact, that's one of our practices. We use the breath practice to take in whatever is unhealthy and give back pure light as health to pacify that situation. But you want to make, at a certain stage of development towards being human, mature human, aspiration, or we say dedications, aspirations, good wishes. What are you going to do with it? Now you understand, now you know both your natures. You found out that the other nature of your mind is way more powerful and less stressful, 1,000% less stressful than your drama mind. What are you going to do with that? So this is where the Tummo and the Powa are very helpful, because you have to go to sleep and you have to die. You have to leave this body. you know? It's just the nature of everything is impermanent. But you want to be in a healthy mind state when that occasion takes place. You can't do anything about the aging. You can slow it down, but that doesn't mean you're not going to die. You can be as healthy as can be, and still, it's over. Time's up. Next slide coming. Malnovation says, you don't know the next breath or the next life, which comes first. That condenses that one. So now we're going to do meditation, the fifth discipline, based on generosity, morality, ethics, good manners, patience, and diligence. We're doing this with the purpose of bringing the natural, clear light aspect of your consciousness into this egocentric drama energy field. So we start by sitting with the back straight, head tilted, mouth closed, tongue resting against the palate, hands on the knees or in the lap, comfortable. Eyes softly gazing, open and gazing to the space about arm's length in front, 2 feet in front. Pick a point. This space energy program is activating through your eyes into your brain, affecting your whole physical situation. Then you bring your focus to the breath. To start with, simply inhale, expanding your diaphragm. Exhale out the nose if you can. Then move to the 3 lights prana yoga practice. Which activates the imagination and strengthens your awareness. To do this, you simply imagine that when you inhale, the air with all its elements, earth, water, fire, air, all of there, come in and fill your lungs with white light. The energy spontaneously absorbed through your body, you visualize as red light flashing through your entire form. These two combined, you exhale out the nose as a healing breath of blue light to space. By using these two breathing methods, technique, you're alleviating stress and inducing peace and tranquility, a state of calm abiding. Also, you're distracting your mind from involvement with worldly activity. And once you accomplish this prana yoga technique of the three lights breathing, then take your focus off the breath, and with your imagination, combine the three lights into one particle of light and center that in your chest, middle of your body, we call creating a heart energy chakra, which in Sanskrit is Bindu, in Tibetan is called the Tiglu. This energy point connects you to the life force of the boundless light throughout the fabric of limitless space. And you just hold this position. Contemplate. That this energy is universal, primordial, timeless, available to every sentient being. Then with this spaces, and in Tibetan it translates as basic space, with your imagination focusing on that particle of light, imagine it to grow into a small sphere of clear light. Then keep expanding that sphere until it creates the symbol. And tonight the symbol will be the energy of the pyramid, signifying fire. So we see a four-sided pyramid about the size of our thumbnail in the center of our heart chakra, blazing with life force energy, and it becomes the psychic healing symbol we use in this five elements healing practice tonight. Then focusing on that, imagine it to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes, where your gaze was stationed to start this practice. 2 feet in front. Then expand it into a much larger size where you can see your body sitting inside this red pyramid of light. Receiving all the life force support of all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, space, but predominantly radiation. So you could say this is radiation therapy. Then keeping your focus and imagination together, expand it in size to completely enclose the area where you live, town, city, or island. In this way, sharing this healing program with the beings in that quadrant. Next, expand it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Kind of like what the sun's energy does every day to all of us. Then expand it in size to completely enclose our solar system. Now you've expanded your awareness, your perception to billions of miles in diameter. Expand even further so that the pyramid encloses our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. And move beyond the limits of your perception by merging this symbol with boundless space and light. Unimaginable space. Relax. Enjoy the clarity of your own consciousness. If you have an afterglow of red light, it's okay. If no color, okay. By remaining present, you increase your capacity to know and understand your natural mind. Then return from spatial awareness to the conceptual symbol of the pyramid enclosing the galaxy. Then the red pyramid, condense it in size to just enclose the solar system. Then much smaller to just enclose Mother Earth. Then focus it to just your area where you live. however much you like, 10 to 50 mile area, your neighborhood. Then again, see yourself sitting inside this healing energy symbol of radiation or fire. Receiving the full life force of everything you just meditated on. Then shrink it to its original small size and place it 2 feet in front of your eye. 2 feet out in front. If you actually see it there with your ordinary eyes, your practice is going well. Then move it to chest level and into your heart chakra. Shrink it in size to the original small sphere of clear light and keep it shrinking until you again see the particle similar to an atom, connecting to the infinite particles of light throughout space. Relax. Relax simply means no meditation, no judgment. Be present, moment to moment present. Develop that. While contemplating your natural mind of space and light. Then bring your awareness to in front of your eyes, expand it into your place of practice, and dedicate the merit to all sentient beings. Refuge and dedication are ongoing. You start with refuge and you finish each session with dedicating the results of your virtuous practice to everybody in the universe. We call that merit. Now tonight we're going to move from the 6 disciplines of the Bodhisattva into the path of skillful means using the Tantric deity yoga of Chenrezig, which evolved from India as Avalokiteshvara into Tibet. The Tibetan word for that deity is Chenrezig, mind of light and space, or bliss. Beyond concept, but merging with conceptual mind. Because everything you think of arises from this state. And how it arises is what you are sensing and thinking about, and then those disappear back into that basin. So Chenrezig is the compassion aspect for how to use this energy program. So that interconnectedness becomes a state of loving kindness and compassion with your involvement in all beings and your environment. Now, to do this practice, you have to be able to use your imagination. And that limits in the human condition today, that alone limits how many people can do the path of skillful meaning. Now, we have Chenrezig up in this corner on the wall as a tonkin, but it's not very well lit. So Abby just brought this one out. This one's easier to visualize. And then over this shoulder, I have the 1,000-arm Chenrezig. Well, that's out there because it's harder to visualize. But 1,000 arms simply means 1,000 applications of your natural mind in the three realms: the heavenly realm, the human realm, and the lower realms of the spirit. And those three applications include all the sentient beings in the universe. And so that's where your focus and imagination with the altruistic motivation work with this deity. On the back of the deity are three sounds. One's connected to the head, one's connected to the throat or speech, and one is connected to the heart, mind. These are chakra energy centers of your body, speech, and mind, and how you are connecting to this universe and the beings in it. And the deity is marked with these three in the central channel of the deity to start the practice. This is how the transmission is given by the lamas to the practitioner, whether it be individual or group. Then the Om Ahom is also used in connecting to the deity through the breath. Now, this particular deity, Chenrezig, is the foundation of all the 100 deities of the Bardo, of which there are 42 peaceful, 42 peaceful, and 58 wrathful. And they all are male and female. So that 100 male deities, peaceful and wrathful, all have female consorts. So that makes 200. Then they fall into 5 categories of emotional messiness as antidotes. So 5 times 200 makes 1,000. So that's the 1,000-armed Chenrezig. But we're going to just stick with 4 arms. One arm using the tantric practice holding a mala, one arm holding a lotus symbolizing the sutra tradition, and 2 hands in devotion in front of the heart, symbolizing outer and inner inseparable, and the space and light in your hands is the nature of everything. Inside, outside, thoughts, perceptions, the world, everything. And then pointed outward from your heart. So all this development here is going out with the 5 elements and the 5 dhyana Buddhas, 5 states of awareness, to all living beings everywhere. He sits in the full lotus, which means the discipline of practicing. And on a sun and moon, which light up our solar system, is our energy program for this planet. So the sun and moon represents the radiation factor of enlightenment of the mind and the outer world together. And the lotus symbolizes the heart chakra and purifying all the states that cause physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual disease, illness. So this is simply treating the cause of those things. Physical, mental, emotional, disease, illness, ill health, however you want to think of it. So this one deity, with compassion for all sentient beings, is all the deities of Tibetan Buddhism. And his consort is the elements of Tara, you say Tara, mother of wisdom. And there's nothing more than that in mind training. This is the ultimate mind training program, available to a very select group of humans that qualify because of their karma of having done this in past lives. And they have 4 qualities, easy to recognize. Inclination, number 1. Without that, no connection. Ability, number 2. Must be able to use your imagination and focus. That's the training. Number 3, leisure time. Oh boy. Tell that to me, I'm a workaholic. Leisure time. And number 4, support. All level support, not just time support, but financial support. Having the lamas as a guide support. Spiritual and physical support. Absolutely necessary. Understanding that, then we're going to do this practice. How about your stool? When we do this practice, we're going to use 3 things with our imagination. The rainbow body of this deity to replace our ordinary body, this relative body. The seed soul of the creation of the natural mind penetrating into this drama field to purify all unhealthy situations, all our inclinations. And a mantra expressed with the speech that tells others of our heartfelt wish that everybody be happy and free of suffering. That's this. So the seed soul tree has to be imagined. This will show the upper part of the deity. That's good enough. Mm-hmm. Then this tree looks like this. You can see that. Looks like a, oh, it's on both sides. Mm-hmm. Looks like a 5 with a hook over it and a slash under it. And underneath it is the same lotus, 8-petal lotus under it. But what you want to focus on is this 5, this slash, this line with the hook over it. So it's called a stacked symbol. But this is the creation sound of your natural mind as discerning that light and space are your true nature and are the ultimate healing modality on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And this sound tree is actually a Buddha field of that discerning awareness, which subjugates all negative outside influence, and inside redirects the mind away from all this drama into space and light, which we say, nothing whatsoever. No. Voidness, sunyata into that. So that will be the heart seed soul the same way the pyramid was for the 5 elements practice. Then we create this mandala And when we have created this mandala of your body being the deity's body, Chenrezig, and all your mother sentient beings same in your mind, then the heart mantra Om Ha Ni Pe Mi Hum arises, and that vibratory sound is coming from the Shri in your heart center, combined with you visualizing yourself and all beings, this deity, and everybody equal, everybody same. Whatever you're doing, they're doing. So we'll start with that. Now we're going to do one round of this mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and then we're going to do the Powa, which is a simple process at the end of the practice. Back straight, eyes in front, mouth closed, hands comfortable, eyes to the space and light in front. Bring your focus to the breath, do the three lights breathing. Inhale white light, and as this energy fills your lungs, hear the sound Om. The absorption breath, the red light, energy through your body to sustain it. Hear the sound Ah. These two working together, exhale out the nose as a healing energy breath of light to space. Hear the sound Om. Inhale, Om. Absorption breath, Ah. Exhale to space, Om. Then you go into action by collecting these three lights and these three sounds into your heart center, into the tigli, the particle. Take your focus off your breath and fully concentrate on the particle as the nature of these three affecting your body, speech, and mind. By the reference of ultimate light in space. As the nature of your consciousness. Then you move from that basic energy field to heal your mind, your drama mind, by growing that particle into a small sphere of clear light, which is the nature of our three-dimensional world. Then you expand that, you see that expanding until it creates a sphere of five-colored light about the size of your thumbnail. Inside that, you locate this red Cree, this vibratory sound of natural mind. And this energy field of the Cree is to connect to your support. All the lamas of Tibetan Buddhism use this system. this practice. So you see the light of the tree and the five-colored light of the sphere emanating out in every direction to all lamas, deities, and protectors, all the three jewels and three roots, either as a symbol of the refuge tree in front or in vast numbers around you in space. Then the light is returned from these entities into the tree in your heart, and you become Chenrezig. You replace your ordinary body with your imagination of this rainbow body deity, dressed in 5 colors of silk, 6 kinds of jewels, a 5-jewel crown, 3 eyes, young, healthy, smiling, legs in full lotus, right hand holding a mala, left hand holding a lotus, like this, and 2 hands, palms together in front of your heart chakra. And you give all this holographic imaging, which means 3D, like putting on your 3D glasses at the theater. The sea bubble, give it thickness. This dimension, all the beings, everything. And when you can vividly see this rainbow body, this training body of the deity, sitting on a lotus sun and moon disk, then visualize your mother in front facing you as a mirror image, life-size, facing you, smiling. Then you project it to your father and all your relatives, all your lovers and friends, pets, all the humans on the planet, 8 billion or more, all the infinite animals in the ocean and on the land and in your ordinary body, Chenrezig. And in your mind's eye, you expand this mandala of beings outward so that you can include all of the spirits in the entire universe. They inhabited the totality of space. Once your mind is filled in this way, the result is the heart mantra appears as a circle of 8 symbols, symbolic letters, around the tree inside the 5-colored sphere in your heart chakra. And starting in front, Om. And clockwise around the tree, Ma, Ni, Pe, Mi, Hum. That's the Tibetan. The Indian is Om, Ma, Ni, Pad, P-A-D, Me, Hum. So you sound this with your speech. This brings your body, speech, and mind, and the mandala with the tree all together. And your vibratory sound of your voice is for all the beings around you. Om, Ma, Ni, Te, Mi, Om. Om, Ma, Ni, Te, Mi, Om. Om, Ma, Ni, Te, Mi, Om. Om, Ma, Ni, Free. Now the Shri can be attached to the mantra or not. But the Shri and the mantra and your rainbow body is this deity are causing you to move into the city of your natural mind, clear light. And all sentient beings in the universe with you. When you sound the mantra, it starts to move counterclockwise. The letters are actually facing outward. And all the energy of those sounds in the Shri flow through all the, we call psychic channels of your deity body and out to space. And every being in your mandala exactly the same, doing the same thing. And you move your focus around in this mandala. Individual, collective, you, just on the mantra, just on the Shri, just on the eyes, just on any part of the rainbow body. Anything that you visualize while sounding this mantra is the practice. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Free. Om and Mom are for the God and Goddess realm. Te, Ni, and Te are for the animal and human world. Me and Hum are for the lower realm spirit world, demonic spirit. So these 6 categories of sentient beings are our family, universal family. And all of this practice is out of loving kindness and compassion for them. So everything is outgoing. Think like that and sound the mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Free. This training also will help you with your outer references of your relationship, because every being that you see, touch, think about, deserves this mantra to remove their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain and suffering. So this is used in practice and post-meditation for all others, especially if you judge them. So by using this mantra based on judgment, you start to modify your judgmental habit, and it transforms into compassion and concern for the well-being of others, loving kindness. Now we just did at least a round of Om Mani Padme Hum, using the Shri, the mantra, and the mandala of self and others as Shenrei-Z. Now we're going to use that as the consciousness transference called Powa practice. So you remain as the deity, and using the seed syllable Shri in your heart center, produce two of these to move in front of each eye. Don't close your eyes. Just imagine the Shri vibrating in front, called blocking the orifice. And then two more Hris emanate from your heart outside each ear. And then two more in front of each nostril. And then one in front of your mouth and one in front of each of your lower orifices. Once these are in place, then you bring your focus back to the Shri in your heart center and focus on it as a small red tightly energy of light. And you see that as your total life force energy moving up through your throat chakra to the central channel and out through the soft spot towards the back of your head into the space above you. Or you use the Shri as the energy field of Amitabha Buddha, which represents the totality of light through space. It's called the Buddha of infinite light in space. Above your head, life-size, as your Lama, inner and outer Lama, teacher, and have the Shri, that particle of red light, enter into the heart of that Buddha, which simply is a simpler form of imagining it going to the totality of space. In any case, leave it there for a few moments, and then bring it back down through the soft spot, into the central channel, down through the head chakra, throat chakra, and back into the Shri in your heart center, and feel it, think it's firmly there. So all this life force that went out, merged with the totality of voidness and light, or with the Buddha heart symbol, comes back down and re-energizes your rainbow body as the deity. Then again, say Shri and visualize it go up into the Buddha's heart center, or merge with the totality of space, your choice. And then comes back down and merges with the Shri in your heart center. And here again, Chenrezig. And you do this 7 times. And you do it like this. Free, the space, the Buddha. Ah, that's the energy sound returning. The same ah you use with your absorption breath. And again, free, ah. Third time. Free, ah. Fourth time. Free, ah. In Tibetan, so you emphasize this with the sound. Free. So it moves faster. Um, 6 times. Free. Um, 7 times. Free. Um, Once you've done this 7 times, then collect the threes from the orifices in reverse. So lower orifices, mouth, nose, ears, eyes, all come back into the central 3 in your heart chakra. Then you see all the sentient beings throughout space as this deity Chenrezig merge into your rainbow body until there's just you as the central figure in space. If you use the Buddha above your head, it moves down into your heart center where the tree is. And the tree is in that Buddha's heart center. Then you disappear into the 6-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Then the mantra starting with the Om, each syllable disappears into the tree, and the tree in the 5-colored sphere of light disappears into the fabric of boundless space, voidness. No meditation. You met with the mother of your mind, your natural mind. He left. Whatever arises, thoughts or perceptions, do not attach or judge them. Let everything move just natural. Stay present. Watch. So you're practicing the same way as you do the Chenrezig practice, but you're adding this Powa interim practice into the process. The more mantra you do, the more rainbow body practice you do, this yoga, this deity, and this at least 7 times a day, using the seat elbow free and the image of the Buddha Amitabha, or just boundless space and light, is the energy field you enter at the moment of leaving the body. And that is timeless. So the next life has these different qualities, but you don't have to worry about it. You know, yeah, it's psychically different, it's physically different, it's all of that. And it's got all this drama going on because you can see the spirits, and you can locate humans and animals on any planet anywhere where they take birth in the universe, and all of that drama. Wow. You know, it's like having 1,000 televisions in front of you, and all of them war, famine, disease, poverty, environmental destruction, overpopulation, etc., etc. You don't have to do that. You did that. Compassion in your mind. The mind projects the universe. Believe, not believe, doesn't matter. The mind, your mind, creates this universe. All the beings in this universe are projections of your mind. Do you want to be responsible for all of them? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But it's no biggie. Infinite compassion, relative compassion. It's still compassion. One can grow into the other. And if you can relax and be clear of all of the incoming, what we used to say, we still say that, then that's Powa. You've transformed your consciousness out of the drama field into the field of pure light. You're a mature human being. You can take birth as many planets as you want to. You can take birth as many types of humans as you want to. There's only 2 types, man and woman. See? We're limited. The drama field is greatly limited. And it's painful. That's not satisfaction. I say unwholesome. Om mani padme hum. And it also has power when you see like an animal that just got run over in the street, like I saw a cat hit the other day. And there it is dying in the street. And Om mani padme hum, Om mani padme hum. Instantly alive. Compassion. May that being never have to experience that suffering again. No. If you have something unwholesome, unhealthy happening in your life, may it never repeat in the future. Just be patient, get through it. No more. So that's Powa practice. Then you dedicate the merit at the end of the session. Post meditation of your Chenrezig, all the sound is Om mani padme hum. Just set it right there. Next. Yeah. So now we're going to do the Tummo practice. Now the consort of Chenrezig is Tara. So when we do the Tummo practice, we're going to use the red Tara. And her seat elbow is the seat elbow of light itself, similar to what we use as the pyramid, radiation, is wrong. And this acts as the same creation symbol in the heart, but this wrong and the tree equal. So this is the outer life force of the universe as heat or fire. And we use the Tara, red Tara, and we do her mantra in seats oval 100 times, then we'll do the Tummo practice to set you up for it. She's also called the Lotus Dakini or the Pema Dakini. In Hindu, Kundalini, all kinds of names. We say Tummo. She is visualized as red, the Ram is her seat level, and her mantra is Om Tara Tu Tari Turi Ram Hri Soha. So you start with the Om Ahum breathing, just like before. We don't have a text. Inhale, white light, fill your lungs, hear the sound Om. Absorption of energy through the body, red light flashing through every cell, hear the sound Ah. These two together, out the nose with blue light to space, to all beings in space. Om. Then you collect the three lights, take your focus off the breath, the three lights and the three sounds into the particle in your heart center and rest in basic space and start the practice. Voidness. And from this all to the mortal dimension of space, you invent with the particle a small sphere of clear light. Expanded to a 5-color sphere, inside is the red red Ram. And 5-colored light together with the energy of the Ram goes out to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, or we say the 3 jewels and the 3 roots of Tantra. All the lamas, deities, and protectors accept this light offering, return it heartfelt, heart-to-heart connection into our heart center, into the Ram. You immediately appear as red Tara, young, beautiful, smiling, healthy, dressed in silks and jewels, 5-jewel crown, 3-eyed, legs in full lotus, sitting on a sun, moon disk, and 32-petal lotus in space as a rainbow body, illusory body. The ultimate mother of wisdom, loving kindness, and compassion, combined with the insight of the bliss nature of mind and emotional stability. Once you can see yourself as this beautiful goddess Tara, and the 3 lights and all of that, and the seat-oval Ram in your heart, then you project it to your mother who created you sitting in front facing you. Then to all mother sentient beings, all your relatives, friends, lovers, enemies, the whole human race, all the animals and spirits on this planet and everywhere in the universe. Filling your mind with this rainbow body of Tara causes the heart mantra to arise. These letters are located in your heart center, circling the Ram and facing inward. Energy from the Ram and these syllables are sounded with your speech. And like the sun's energy flowed through you and out as healing energy, to all beings and to the environment. And everybody in your mandala is equal, same as you, doing the same thing. Om Tara Tutare Turi Ram Hri Soha. 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 Om Tara Tutare Ram Hri Soha. Om Tara Tutare Turi 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 Ram Hri Soha. Now, once you've said the Tara mantra at least 21 times, for best results, one whole mala, 108 times, then you start the Tummo practice with the breath. Now, when you do this practice, you, as before, your fingers wrap around your thumbs with the inhale and extend with the exhale. Rest the palm on your knees of each hand. Then do 3 clearing breaths. The first one is Om, the second one is Ah, and the third one is Hum. And it goes like this. Inhale. Exhale harshly. That's the Om. Inhale. Exhale harshly. That's the Ah. Inhale. Exhale. That's the Hum. Then inhale and hold your breath. We're going to do this 7 times. Hold your breath. Visualize red light flashing through every cell in your body. And you are red Tara. And the Ram is in your heart center. Hold your breath as long as you can. When you exhale, exhale harshly. Take another breath. This time, focus on your diaphragm fully extended, with all the red light energy flowing through every cell in your body. Inhale. This time, while you hold your breath with the diaphragm extended, point your tongue toward the roof of your mouth. Just touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. This time, with your tongue touching, your diaphragm extended, gently squeeze your sphincter muscle. Inhale. This breath, the fifth breath, this time, diaphragm extended, tongue against the roof, sphincter muscle, and sip breaths through your nose. After you hold your breath, take a little more in 3 times. Inhale. Hold. Sip a little air through your nose. Short breath. Pack it in. Again. One more time. Sixth breath, all of the above. Inhale. Every cell, red light, your red tongue, red drum in your heart. All body functions go. And the seventh time, while you're holding your breath with all the body functions, like see a red dot from the bottom of your central channel move up to the head, into space, and then back down to the bottom of your sex chakra. Inhale. Relax. Relax means all the energy located to the heart chakra into space. Voidness and light. Voidness is the key word for space. It is the true nature of everything that you sense, think about, and do. In the accomplishment stage, this stage of the practice, there is no meditation. You simply contemplate the present moment without attaching to anything, any sensual perception or any thought. Now we're going to do the 9 yantra breathing to clear any negative connotation to these practices tonight. Place your hands on your knees. Inhale, and as you inhale, visualize light filling up your body to your throat. Raise your right hand, and with your index finger, close your nostril. Women use the left hand, men use the right hand. As soon as the nostril is closed, exhale, bring the hand back down, and think all the light leaves your body and space or voidness remains. Inhale, do the opposite arm. Index finger, close the nostril. Light filling up to your throat. Exhale. All the light drains down and out. Empty body. Opposite arm. Inhale. Touch the nose. Exhale. Hand down. Opposite arm. Inhale. Touch the nose. Exhale. Opposite arm. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Now 3 more breaths. That was 6. 3 more. Inhale, light fills the body, lean forward. As you lean forward, exhale, and the light all out. Inhale, fill with light. Lean forward, exhale, voidness. Inhale. Exhale. Return to your sitting position, either with voidness or light, or both. And relax. Reappear as either Chenrezig or Tara. And we'll dedicate the miracle. We'll use the sutra dedication. Does it say a dedication prayer?
Yeah.
Read this together. In this way, by the power of virtuous actions, the love and kindness of my parents to me, and the teachings of Bodhicitta by my Lama, and my commitment to all my Vajra sisters and brothers, and the connection between myself and all men and women, possessions, and even those beasts of burden, from which I take milk and yogurt to drink, and the animals whose flesh and blood I eat, to all of these, without leaving one behind, may they quickly reach the sublime and perfect state of Buddhahood. Dewaji Nirjidam Chalya Champa Jujuna Doa Chintin Marupa Devi Sala Gopasha Sanjay Kusu Nenpai Jamadam Shoni Major Denpai Jamadam Kendu Niche Dunpai Jamaki Chita Gumon Mogon Shu Parsha. By this virtue of having realized Maha-Immersion, may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state. With the blessings of the 3 bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha being unwavering, may this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. Sushi Che,